How's it going, fellow Slayers? Hope you're all having an awesome day so far. Recently, there have been some videos out there of people expressing how worried they are for Doom Eternal, and I wanted to give my 2 cents about the situation. Before I get more into the topic, I always want to thank you all for the support on the channel. It really means a lot to me and keeps me motivated to keep content like this going strong. The channel is constantly growing, and of course I have my new goal of getting 15,000 subscribers by the time Doom Eternal releases, and I'm totally sure we will get there. Be sure to like and share the video if you like it, as that will definitely help with the goal and get the video out there. If you're new here and love Doom like I do, then you're in the right place. The release of Doom Eternal in November would have been perfect for the year of Doom. We had the anniversary of the old Doom games, the Slayers Club was in full effect with giveaways, support from the fans, and constant news updates, and the hype was as strong as it ever could be. Of course, most of us were not expecting the delay, especially for how close it was to the original release date. Delays are not usually greeted with open arms at first, but after a while we realized it was for the best. Id Software has proven themselves to be among the most dedicated to their fans and to have some of the best talent in the world in the video game industry. If they needed more time, then it was for good reasons. Of course, I'm sure that most of us would agree that an unfinished game is totally not worth it, and in the end would be a waste of money. If we look back at the development of Doom 2016, it was all over the place and could have been an entirely different game that may have not have had as much of an impact as the one we got in the end. It probably would have been an okay game, but I am forever grateful that Id Software doubled their efforts and gave us the masterpiece of Doom 2016. The action is brutal. The music is full of non-stop metal. And the gameplay overall is addictive and brings us back more and more. Doom 2016 was such a groundbreaking title that it not only received awards for Best Action Game and Best Soundtrack, but also brought so many new and old school fans together. In my opinion, Doom used to be that one game you used to play back in the day, but now it has become even more popular and mainstream. Now you can imagine how much of an achievement this game was to Id Software and how much work they would need to do in order to make the next game even better. It's not easy to release something better when you already had something that blew everyone away. However, I am fully confident that Id Software will pull it off. Doom Eternal is going to be the biggest game of the century. I may be a bit biased on it, but let me explain why. The sequel to an already amazing game must live up to the expectations of delivering something with more quality and playability. Modern Warfare 2, Halo 2, Hexen, and Doom 2 are a handful of sequels that delivered what their previous titles had, plus more. Doom Eternal will be able to do much more than a mere sequel, with all the new features and additions making it stand out above all others. One such improvement is by no doubt the game engine. id Tech 7 will be even more powerful than id Tech 6, which was already a powerful engine at the time. The previous engine still stands out, as Doom 2016 looks and feels great to this day, even though it is more than 3 years old. Many PC gamers still use Doom 2016 as a benchmark for many modern setups due to how optimized the game is. Id Software does an amazing job at optimizing games, and with id Tech 7 combined with Vulkan, many different types of PCs will be able to handle it with ease. Even the next-gen consoles should be able to handle it very well. The Switch, on the other hand, will probably be more like the Doom 2016 port, but still will be able to perform decently well. Of course, the Switch version is going to be released a bit later than the release date, so there may be some more tweaking involved with it. Considering a third-party company is working on the port, and with them trying to get a AAA game like Doom Eternal to run on that device, it'll be worth the wait. Another thing that will be implemented into Doom Eternal will be ray tracing. I already mentioned this in another video of mine, but because it is such a groundbreaking technology and will be available in the next-gen consoles, it makes sense to have it in Doom Eternal. With how optimized the engine will be, ray tracing will be beneficial to have in the game. I don't know who would complain about being able to see better lighting and reflections on the blood of those fallen by the Doomslayer, but there may be some. Ray tracing is constantly showing up in newer games, and eventually it may be in every game, at least according to Nvidia. All in all, if Doom Eternal will be optimized as good as Doom 2016, then ray tracing may not take that big of a hit to performance, which would allow many gamers using a PC or next-gen console to take advantage of the technology. Having that will give the game an edge over other games that may not be as optimized and make it a clear choice that Doom Eternal will come out on top. Ray tracing may not be available day one of Doom Eternal, but when it does, it will for sure blow us all away. For many games, a well-developed story can either have gamers looking for more due to the high-quality content, or move on as they either don't care or it didn't satisfy them enough. Doom is definitely not a game that focuses on the story, but the way id Software implemented the lore in Doom 2016 made it available to those who care about it. To me, this is a great way of storytelling, as you can either look more into why this certain thing came to be, or you could just move on and not care at all. Doom Eternal will be just like that and have more depth to the story and lore, at least for those who will go looking for it. It kind of gives the player a feeling of satisfaction knowing that you earned the codex for exploring the map and going off the beaten path. Not too many games are like that today. Many games tend to have huge cinematic cutscenes or force you to know the story, otherwise you'll be lost later on in the game. You could literally play all of Doom 2016 and not get too deep in the story, but still get the gist of what's going on. Of course, there are a few spots that keep the player from moving, but they are very minimal. Doom Eternal will also have a few transitions, as I like to call them, because they aren't quite as long as cutscenes, and it's more of a way to see the player for a bit and go from one point to another. An example would be when in the demo, when the Slayer gets in the escape pod and goes down to the core of Mars. The transition works well because without it, it would probably just be a loading screen. For the most part, I'm sure in Doom Eternal the transitions will be minimal as well and won't be too much of a way to stop the momentum of demon slaying. On top of that, the game is way longer than Doom 2016. If you do a near 100% playthrough of the campaign, it will take somewhere close to 18 to 20 hours or so. For a first-person shooter, that is a long time for a single-player campaign. For a little perspective, most games like Call of Duty will only take about 5 to 10 hours. Doom 2016 would take somewhere a little longer than that as well. So not only will there be a bigger story, but also a longer single player campaign. That right there should be enough to say that the game is totally worth it and will keep you busy for a while, especially if you want to master the difficulties and get a 100% playthrough. In anticipation of every game, marketing goes a long way to either a successful launch or a mediocre one. Marketing is very essential in the gaming industry, otherwise no one will even know about your game until the week of its launch. In my opinion, Bethesda, being the publisher, has done a great job of marketing Doom Eternal. The Slayers Club is one prime example of a way to build up a hype for the game and to bring the community together. If you haven't joined the Slayers Club yet, then by all means join up so you can take advantage of giveaways, updates, community posts, and overall immersing yourself in everything Doom. Besides the club, the Bethesda store has a bunch of Doom Eternal merchandise and many more things to buy and add to your collection. Game reveals and trailers add a lot to the marketing as well. We've seen a ton of content out there from previous QuakeCons and other conventions leading up to the release. All we need now is to have a live trailer like the Doom 2016 trailer and we'll be set. And finally, what I am doing right now is, well, marketing Doom Eternal with my videos I upload. Free marketing via YouTube and other outlets works so well, especially when you have a dedicated fan base and motivated content creators. There are so many ways that Doom Eternal is getting out there to reach a bigger audience this time around, and it seems to be working pretty well. Another point I wanted to make that would go hand in hand with the marketing would involve the pre-order bonuses. This is always a great tactic to use to get the game out there and to have fans pre-purchase the game and in the end be rewarded for it. Don't get me wrong, not all pre-order bonuses are created equal, and there have been some games that looked really promising but then ended up horrible. However, with what we've seen of Doom Eternal so far and the bonuses we can get just for pre-ordering, even just the standard edition is way more than most other games have had. Even with the delay, we now get Doom 64 for free added onto any of the pre-orders. For many pre-orders, that is huge. I can't think of too many games that had a pre-order to include a free game along with the extras that Doom Eternal will have. I know that Gears 4 had a pre-order that included all the older games along with it, and if you pre-ordered Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, you could get up to 2 other Rockstar games. But like I said, not too many games have had that great of a pre-order bonus. Let me know if there were other games that were very comparable to Doom Eternal's pre-order bonuses. Last but not least, the soundtrack will make this game even more metal. Mick Gordon has done an outstanding job with Doom 2016's soundtrack, and even with the bits of the music we can hear in Doom Eternal, will keep the adrenaline flowing like crazy. There may have been many other games that have had great soundtracks such as Halo and others, but Doom Eternal will blow us away. With each encounter in the game, the music just fits perfectly. It makes the arenas way more intense and satisfying. I remember the first time I played Doom 2016, when I came into one of the first arenas and the soundtrack kicked in, I felt a unique desire to rip and tear every demon I came across. The music can make or break a good experience with the game, and in my opinion, Doom has always had the best music. Overall, Doom Eternal will come with many new features that we will be able to experience in March and will be among the best we have ever seen in recent video games. Honestly, I may just be a super fanboy or something, but if you really analyze Doom Eternal, you'll see that we have nothing to worry about the delay and what will be in the final version of the game. What do you guys think? Are any of you worried about the delay or think that Doom Eternal will be the game of the year for 2020? I want to hear your opinion on the matter, so be sure to leave a comment down below. Next year is going to be full of so many new games and it's going to be tough to get through them all, but Doom Eternal is definitely my priority. Hopefully you liked this video, and if so, be sure to like and subscribe and share it so that way it can get out there more. Like I've said a lot, I appreciate the support on the channel and you guys are awesome. Also, check out my social media accounts to see other gaming related topics over there. Hope you all have a good one, and until next time, fellow Slayers, don't forget to rip and tear. Peace.